Pretty excited. I got a new bag of coffee I'm trying out today. The Hawaiian Kona. It was a little bit more pricey than the other bag, so I'm hoping it's well worth it. Hey, buddy. Do you, I didn't even say anything yet. Do you feel like going for a hike? You do? Okay, well, let's go. Wow. First thing in the morning, and look at Mother Nature letting her presence be known. It is extremely windy out here today, but I have to get a hike in. Yesterday, my only exercise was basically I walked about 4 miles around town and then went to the cemetery and walked that up and down those hills, but I got to get a real workout in today. And that coffee was amazing, by the way. And that's really saying something because I love a lot of coffee by that place, and for that one to stand out, that was really great. It went down smooth too. I think it was like 2 sips and that sucker was out. Give it a try, the Kona coffee. I don't really have any idea of what I really want to do today. All I really know is I don't want to be here. I want to stay in my neighborhood as little as possible today. Or at least until traffic's going to get bad. I want to get out of here and go somewhere else, get a different surrounding today. And I'm not quite sure what that'll be. I may hop on the train to do it. Who knows? We'll see. Daze with Short and the Lion. I guess it begins now. Alright, change of plans. It is so windy. It's almost blowing us off the road, so I'm going to take Ja back in and I'll go hike by myself because that's just too much dust to be blowing around in his face and in his eyes. So I ended up changing my mind, and what I decided, instead of going up and hiking through the dusty canyons and burning myself out on the same view again and a lot of dust in my face, I walked over to, well, I didn't walk over, but I drove over to where the stairs are, the Bela Lugosi stairs, and I'm going to do those stairs and the ones that are across the street from it that I showed you guys the other day. And I think maybe that'll be a nice change of pace if I just do some stairs and even double it up, like do 2 stairs at a time and stuff like that. So let's do it. Lionhearts, here's your mission should you choose to accept it with me. Let's go. Well, we made it to the top. I think what I'm going to do is 2 times up, 2 times down, then go across the street and do that one 2 times up, 2 times down. It's a long way up. You can really feel it in your quadriceps on the way up, especially if you're doing double stairs like I was. And back up again. 2 steps at a time. Bela's house. Alright, let's go to the other stairs now. I've never done these before. The old VW bus. And here are the stairs. Let's give it a try. I don't even know how steep they are or how high it goes. Like I said, I've never done it. They put a resting bench here in case anybody needs it. Not me yet. Well, it certainly keeps going for a while. I've been doing it for quite a while, and I haven't been filming everything, so I think we may have found its end almost. One of the things I love about LA is you always see something you've never seen before. And I can add this to the list. Not a country flag, an Earth flag. Citizen of Earth. Interesting. They even have a rose bed here. Alright, let's go down and work our way back up. I'll be honest, I was getting lightheaded on the way up here on this one. It's steep, and then you're You have a thinner staircase on these because it's divided, which I do kind of like because it's a clear path for one to go up and one to go down. And if you don't do that out here, you'll have guys that are acting like they're training to compete in a decathlon, running up the middle of the stairs with their legs as wide apart as they can, swinging their arms, really selling the motion like they're on a commercial or something. So this kind of helps take out the theatrics. Okay, back up. I think we'll do this as our last one. Not a bad day's workout, honestly. I don't know exactly how many stairs I did altogether, but... Alright, I know what I want to do today. I'm going to go renew my passport at a walk-in location in the valley. And then I'm going to attempt to see a place called Mini Graceland. And I figured if I'm going to go to a place called Mini Graceland and try and weasel my way in and get to see what's inside, I should probably wear something like this. Open. Bam. This is the walk-up passport line. I'll probably be here 2 hours at least. But you got to get it done. Awesome, what a magnificent twist of fate. I saw on the wall that they had certain ID they wouldn't accept, and I was like, well, I have an expired passport, so I wonder if they'll accept that or if they won't accept it. So I walked up to ask the question, and the guy looks at my passport and he goes, you don't have to stand here. He goes, here, take this application, go fill it out, and then come back to me and I'll walk you in, take your picture. Then since you already have your passport and it's less than 15 years, I can just walk you in, you can fill out the papers, and you'll be out here in 15 minutes. I won! He wasn't kidding, it's quick. I'm gonna say this about the Van Nuys post office right now. That was easy. Not only was that easy for me because I was doing a renewal, but in the time that I was filling out my application, I saw the line move. About a third of the line got inside the door in the time that I was filling out my application. And that took about 10 minutes, so. These people are efficient. I was able to mail out my my mom's hotel key thing, the little souvenir, get my passport stuff taken care of. Good as gold, now let's go vlog. Well, gang, there it was. Once known as Melodyland. This is not the original house that once stood here. Actually, what happened was in the 80s, an Elvis impersonator named Danny Unowich, he goes by Danny U, who had been an Elvis impersonator since he was like the age of 13, bought this property because he wanted to be on a main drag of a street in the valley. And he got rid of the place that was here and took a massive undertaking into building an exact replica, except scaled down version of Graceland. Now, one of the interesting things about this is he went like pretty much spared no expense. It cost $1 million in the late 80s just to build this thing, and it wasn't done until 1991. But he actually had the contractor that he was hiring to do this, he actually sent him to Graceland to take detailed measurements of everything so that everything would be as accurate as possible. And we're talking all the way down to the heart-shaped pool in the back. He used to have Graceland gates right out front here, and it was because he was actually in the movie Elvis and Me. He had somehow arranged to get those gates. And Danny U used to keep this open 2 particular days of the year. And I'm sure you can guess which ones those were. Elvis's birthday and Elvis's death day, which is coincidental because the property was actually opened on Elvis's death day, August 16th. Now, it doesn't have the 15 rooms that I think Graceland has. It actually has only 3 rooms, but he had everything pretty much similar. He had a jungle room inside, he had gold-plated sinks, he had toilets that resembled crouching dragons, he had Elvis's memorabilia, as close as he could possibly get to being accurate. And in fact, he would keep a Cadillac right there in front. He actually had like 7 cars that were Elvis's favorite cars, and he would display them at different times, but he always kept one Cadillac parked right in front, and you could see it through the gates.
And also right in the front, the entranceway, down on the ground, he had a star to himself that said Danny U. And a little marble centerpiece that said Melodyland, and that's what he called this place. Now, it did fall on some unfortunate times because what happened was the Northridge earthquake of 1994, of course, hit where this is, because this is like the border of Encino, Northridge, and caused one of the chandeliers to come cracking down. The marble floors had split, the glass had broken, the walls had cracked, causing quite a bit of damage, and actually the city deemed it uninhabitable. Obviously it looks different now, and there's a reason for that. It's because Danny doesn't own it anymore. And as far as I know, Danny didn't die. The story is that he basically decided that in Thousand Oaks, at a performance on his 42nd birthday, he made an announcement to the crowd that he was retiring as an Elvis impersonator. He wanted to call it quits when Elvis did, and decided he was going to go into music and acting without the Elvis persona. And he actually sold this place, and the person who bought the place never moved in, let it get run down, and eventually a few years later sold it to someone else. And those people have pretty much tried to get rid of every kind of nook and cranny detail of this place. It still looks similar, but they got rid of the gates. I think maybe even Danny was able to get the gates back. And they kept the heart-shaped pool and a few of the things inside. I was able to find pictures of what it looked like in the heyday when Danny used to let tours go through here, so I'm going to post those pictures in this vlog. Yeah, they didn't really want it resembling Graceland anymore, so they got rid of all that stuff. And what I read online was that Danny has become, over the years, one of those people who buys up properties and then fixes it up and resells it. So he actually had his eye on this property and wanted to get it back and turn it back into his Melodyland. But apparently the deal fell through, so that probably isn't going to happen, or maybe it might be too late at this point, I don't know. Like I said, he started creating this, having it built in the late 80s. It opened in 91. It went through the destruction of 1994's earthquake, and then he actually did reopen it to the public in 1997. So that was, what, 20 years ago. I don't know, at this point he'd be in his late 60s or 70s, and I think it seems very unlikely that he would ever get it back, but I am going to go and take a walk around the property and show you as much as I can, because I just thought this was so cool that somebody in the valley would love Elvis Presley so much. And I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Elvis. There's people who just love the Beatles, and I don't really care for the Beatles, but Elvis to me was just an absolute enigma. He was the American dream, like a poor boy who was doing a kind of music that was frowned upon, became influential, became the biggest thing in the world, was in the military. I mean, it was just, now not everything about Elvis was great, but I always thought the music was amazing, and I thought his style and his influence on the culture was just absolutely awesome. So let's go take a look. I'm going to go walk around the sides, and it actually is right on the corner of Parthenia and Zelza, if you ever want to come check it out. So let's get a closer look. Doesn't it just make you glad people like Danny U existed, even though this is not mini Graceland anymore? A lot of people in its heyday got to see it, and that is just, to me, that is just so cool. That somebody was so inspired by Elvis that they would go and make an absolute creation of his home. Like I said, 3 bedrooms, not the 15 But for the most part, everything else was pretty accurate. Now let's go take a look at the front. Oh, you can see the pool, the Elvis pool, and you can see the lions out front. And there's kind of the front. Danny U's invention. That was pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy I got to see this, even though it's not in its original state and everything. But a friend of mine, since I'm close to Encino, a friend of mine for years has told me about this great Italian place. It's like an Italian deli. It's supposed to be like the best in all of Los Angeles, called Domingo. So I'm gonna track this place down and go see it. Wow, I was just parking my car for free parking, and what a surprise. That is somebody who not only loves art, but takes pride in their house. That is so cool. Wow, that is so cool. Look at that. They have all kinds of stuff. Little animals in the yard, and it's like something out of a fairy tale, kind of, isn't it? Wow, good job. Good job. See, you can do art in your yard and make it classy, and I love the garden sign. Do you see that? It's license plates. Wow, good job. And it looks really classy too. That is really classy. Little bear. Wow, I love it. Well, I found it. It's actually across the street, so I need to find my way over there somehow. Well, since I see that Buca di Beppo here, I know exactly where I'm at. Actually, technically, like right behind, right here, is where Clark Gable's ranch was. Clark Gable's house is back in that neighborhood. My very first vlog. I drive by and turn up that street. Alright, well, a real Italian recommended this place to me and told me to make sure I get something with a meatball. And it better be good. I'm sure it will be. Alright. This is a real deli. We're really talking here. Every real Italian. Bob Hope. I've seen Jack Webb. Frank Sinatra's up there. Matt LeBlanc. Danny DeVito. I'll walk you around and show you the other ones.
2481.
Doc Severinsen. The one in the back is. No, the one right back here is. Right there is Clark Gable, and it's signed. Nice. I know he used to live right around the corner. One of the guys eating in here right now lives in the neighborhood and was telling me that Jack Webb lived right around the corner to the left, kind of where I parked. Clark Gable lived around the back. Dick Van Dyke lived around the back. That's why all these people have signed photos in here, because they all lived here and ate here all the time. It's been around that long. Check out all the people that eat here, or that ate here. These are all people who live in the neighborhood. You all recognize these guys.
These things are not good for your family. Employees, driving the all-new Chrysler Pacific. The only vehicle with stone-go second, third row seat. That means you owe Travis.
It looks pretty dang good to me. I got the meatball sandwich. Okay, my verdict on the food. A lot of people recommend food out here, and I'm never happy. I loved it. I loved it. The meatball sandwich was amazing. The marinara was amazing. The people that worked there were awesome. I asked for one thing, and like the person I would ask, like somebody in the back was already working on getting it. I mean, maybe the best Italian place I've ever had. Okay, I looked everywhere online and I could not confirm this address. But the guy in the restaurant told me that this right here, he said, the first house to the left when you go up that street It'll have a gate, an American flag, and a bunch of trees covering it. Said that was Jack Webb's address, the guy who created and starred in Dragnet, and he said now his brother lives there. That's what I was told. But like I said, I have a few sites that I always use for confirming things like that, and I couldn't find anywhere that he lived on this street, so take it for what it's worth. There were 3 pictures inside Domingo signed by Jack Webb, so he definitely lived in the area. Ooh, look at the orange trees. Good evening, Lionhearts. I hope you enjoyed our amazing and eventful day. I had a lot of fun. I personally had a blast. Everything that I got to see today, I was super grateful to see, and the people that I met inside that Italian deli, they just kind of restored my faith in people. They were really awesome, really friendly, really going out of their way. Even the customers were really cool. Like, they saw me walking around with my camera, videoing things, and they were asking me why, and then they were telling me more stuff about the area. So that's the kind of community you want, especially as a vlogger. Like, sometimes you're walking around with the camera and you feel like everybody's gonna stare at you, but you got to do it anyway, and this was a great environment, so it was fun for me. I spent a good portion of my night tonight looking up plane tickets for Sweden, and man, you know what? These online ticket brokers are so shisty, because 3 different times I found tickets that I tried to book, put all my information in, did everything, and then it said there was an error and that you had to call them, and then every time I would call them, I would give them the flight numbers, the times, the cities, everything, and then they would say, oh, we can't find that ticket for that price. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I just refreshed your screen and I'm looking at it again. So one of those flights had me hanging out in Iceland for 16 hours in a layover. One of those flights had me staying in Paris on the way back for 18 hours. I tried to book various different scenarios and it just doesn't seem to be happening. So I haven't booked my flight yet, but as soon as I do, I'll actually, maybe I won't let you know. I don't really want to let you know where my layover is going to be, because I'm hoping it's going to be a long layover so I can vlog in that city. But most of my list of things to do before I go to Sweden are almost knocked out, so I'm pretty proud of myself. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I have to work tomorrow, so you're getting a pre-recorded video, and if I can film anything down there wherever we're going to be, if there's anything cool, I'll definitely show you. Thank you for always having my back, Lionhearts, and the good people are the ones I make these for. Have a great night from Jordan and John, Hollywood, California. Good night!